Good morning. So glad to have you here. And this is a morning where Reverend Joan Stutes is going to be talking. And we are going to be having a great day. It's a beautiful day out. And I want to welcome everybody here. And before we get to Joan, we want to listen to our wonderful, wonderful Janet,
Glad to be here.
Reverend Janet Childs.
So hello. I'm so happy to welcome each and every one of you that is here. And I just want to acknowledge the blood moon. We are still going through. It was, last night. We couldn't see it on our side of the world, but other people could. We just saw, I think, a full moon.
Well, yeah, I opened the front door, and it was like right there.
Exactly, Corky. It was right there. So just honor that, bringing more changes and evolution to our universe. And hopefully you can just rest and be gentle with yourself as we, just explore as we take each breath, how incredible this community is. And so for each of you, just invite you to settle in and settle down and allow yourself to breathe. And just feel your body. So often our minds kind of rule what we do, what we pay attention to. And our body is the great truth teller. So just allow yourself to spend some time with your body, thanking your body for being the container of your spirit, and thanking the world that interacts with your body and that gives and receives energy and love and support. Oh my body, sing to me. Oh my body, listen to me and tell me what's the secret of joy. What's the secret of joy? We're gonna be here with each other through our lives, through our lives. Let me listen, let me learn from your wisdom, and let me fly. Ooh, fly. Ooh, let me fly. Ooh, let me fly. And we stand on the edge of the cliff. And we open up our arms and our heart to this moment. And we lift up our wings and we fly. Oh, we lift up our wings and we fly. As we stand on the edge of this moment and the cliff of our dreams, and we hear the whispering of the angels singing, and we know we are grounded, roots in this shineth like the sun, the moon and the stars, and we fly high, we fly high, and we say thank you to our bodies, all the parts that let us see and hear and smell and give and love and touch. And every moment of every day we soar on the joy of our life, the joy of our life shines now.
Oh, just hold that energy. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, that was great. Great, great. So, any birthdays this week? Any birthdays? No birthdays. Okay.
Your birthday.
Wow, my birthday.
Last week.
Yeah, people have.
Oh, Dottie, it's my birthday this week.
Yes, it's
Yes, it is.
Yes.
So we're gonna do the song?
Yes.
This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Yay!
Yay, Annie.
Woo! Yay, Annie.
Thank you.
How you feeling, babe?
I'm finally getting through the reactions from last week, so doing much better. Thank you.
Oh, good. Good. Glad to hear it.
Glad to be alive.
Good.
Yay!
We're all with you on that one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, and before I introduce our speaker, I want to say that thank you all of you for giving me birthday blessings. I had a great birthday, and everything about it was nice, and the house was full of balloons, and we have flowers on the front porch from Lee Stanford, and they're just great. A lot of things going on in my life, and I want to thank all of you for your love and your prayers, and know that I'm feeling okay. Still not feeling as good as I'd like to, but I'm feeling okay. So that's one of those things that you like to have in your life. And we're going to hear from Reverend Joan how to survive a period of chaos. And I think a lot of us are going through a period of chaos. A lot of us are doing it individually. A lot of us are doing it as a group. Just a lot of people are going through chaos. And so I'm excited to see what Joan's going to have to say. So are you ready, Joan?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay.
And thank you, Dottie, for that kind introduction. And thank you, Dottie and Corky, for keeping CCL alive and well all these years. How many years, Dottie?
26.
Woo!
26 years.
Woo!
That's an amazing.
Quarter of a century.
That's
Plus.
an amazing accomplishment. And I want to tell you all that I know I'm going to live another 12 years to 102.
Yay!
And I intend to be here with you at CCL because this is my spiritual home.
Yay!
And I'm asking you to make a commitment to stay with CCL
Amen.
through this journey.
Yes.
Because it is a journey. It has been a journey, hasn't it, Dottie?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And she's been able to do this through COVID, through having it at the Villa de Frank Center, and through other places that I'm not aware of. But she's been able to change with times And so now we're doing it this way. And I want to invite you to come by and join us because we have a nice time. There's food, there's fellowship, and it's just a nice way to spend Sunday. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 5, and Lauren's coming, so 6 of us. But the room will fit at least 10, and probably more. But I invite you to make this commitment because we're on a spiritual path, and this gives you a way to celebrate that spiritual path. So what I'm going to talk about today is 3 things. I'm going to talk about astrology briefly, and then I'm going to talk about music, not quite so briefly, and then I'm going to talk about the spiritual path and moving forward, and that will be a little longer piece of this. But I want to begin with astrology because I know that some of you doubt or don't pay attention to astrology, and how does it work, and how could they predict that this time of chaos was coming? Well, they were able to predict it. The light will come back. Let there be light. Yay! They are able to predict because what some astrologers do is look at the patterns in the sky that are coming up, and they say, oh my, what happened the last time we had those same patterns? And then they go through the history books and look it up. Well, the last time we had these patterns, the American Revolution occurred, and that's when America broke free from England. And that was all about taxes. I watched a short movie on the American Revolution, and they were broke. Britain was broke. And so they decided that they needed to get money from those people, those rebels in America. You need to start paying. And so they put on different taxes, repealed them, and then finally they said, we're going to tax the tea, and that's got to stay. And you all remember from your history books of the Tea Party, where they threw all the tea overboard. And that was the beginning of the American Revolution. So this astrologers started talking about this time of a repeat of these constellations. They started talking about this and the chaos that it would bring about 10 years ago. I heard it, but I thought, well, okay, maybe. And then I heard about it 5 years ago, and I said, well, I get it. We're going to be in times of change. But they were able to come forward and do that. I had a long conversation with Tamara Bell, our astrologer friend here, that's associated with CCL. And I asked her, how long is this period of chaos going to last? And she said, well, probably 2 years, but maybe 5, and maybe they'll still be feeling about it in 7 to 10 years. Well, do you remember COVID and how we used to say, let's get back to normal?
Right.
Let's get back to normal. Did we ever get back to normal?
No. We created a new normal.
Yeah, and what's going to happen this time also is we're not going to get back. There's going to be a new creation ahead. And so we can rejoice in the new creation, or we can fight it, or we can ignore it. But the main thing that we personally need to do is say, yes, this is a new time, there's new energy, new things are happening, and we're all moving forward. So that's my astrology, that's the totality of my astrology lesson for today. But as I get news flashes about the future that astrology is predicting, I'll try to share them with you in the future. Because to me it's fascinating that they can predict and pinpoint things so accurately. All right, so my second subject today is music. A couple of years ago, when I was meditating, I got the message, Joan, listen to music at least 1 hour a day to calm your spirit. So, did I leap right into that and set up a schedule and do music 1 hour a day? You all know me better than that. But I did start paying attention to music, and it has given me a whole new feeling about life as a whole. And I just love Janet's made-up songs. I'm so proud of knowing her and her ability to do these made-up songs that are so beautiful and so harmonious and fit into our service so beautifully. But I met Jeannie Lyons, who has since joined our church and is becoming a minister here, and she was all involved in the opera. Now I want to tell you, I've never been to an opera before, and I had no interest in the opera. I knew it was a lot of singing in foreign language, and somehow it didn't appeal to me, but Jeannie was so excited about it. And my daughter, when I talk to my daughter about the opera, she's excited about it because in college she attended several operas. And so the end of that is that I ended up getting tickets for the opera, and that we're on our third season now of
Wow.
going to the opera.
That, you're committed.
And I want to tell you something, I still don't understand. I generally get the gist of the story. My eyes are so bad that I can't read
Libretto.
the signs, yeah. And they have them translated in Spanish and English. I can't read either one of them. But you know, the music is delightful, but then we morphed into going to the symphony. Then we morphed into going to the jazz festival. And that's more my style, especially sitting outside drinking beer
Yay.
in the sunshine and listening to good old swamp jazz. So my life has changed with this message about listening to music. Now, I often turn KCSM on. The marvelous thing is that you can get radio stations on your phone. What a gift. So it's really easy to listen to jazz or classical. KCSM is the jazz station, KDFC is the classical station. So it's easy to put music into your life that way. Then last year, we went to Brigadoon, which has fabulous music. And now this year, right, in fact this month, the Saratoga group is doing Sound of Music.
Oh, great.
And who doesn't love Sound of Music?
And it's what, the 50th anniversary?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I don't know,
I don't think so.
maybe so. But, and the Julie Andrews Running Over the Hills, who can forget that? It's just beautiful, and the songs are so singable, you know.
We've heard them for
Yeah.
years.
And so I encourage you to get music involved in your life in some way. If you want to go to the opera with us, you know, call me and we'll figure it out. John Nakamoto is playing the piano, the first symphony instrument. He's just fabulous. So the symphony's coming up. Sound of Music is coming up. Lots of good stuff. When we went to Eureka, we wondered what was happening in Eureka that we could attend. And it was the Trinity Alps Arts Festival. And what that involved is a piano player, a violinist, and a cello player doing classical music. And they played Beethoven's first published piece, which involved a lot of scales up and down the piano. It was amazing. So music has brought a lot into my life, and I'm encouraging you to look at and think about putting music into your life in some fashion. And if it's radio, great. If it's a CD player, great. If it's pieces on your phone, great. But just think about how to add some music into your life, because music brings harmony in, I think, right away. Excuse me. Okay, so we've done astrology briefly, or we've done music briefly, and now I'm going to talk about spiritual path. And, you know, I got so upset about the chaos in our system that I retreated to reading novels. And I read mystery novels, especially Sandra Brown. And you know, the nice thing about those mystery novels is that the good guy always wins.
Yay.
Yeah, so that gave me hope. So novels was a kind of an escape for me. But, you know, my spiritual path, and we're all put here for a reason. We all have a job. We all have a job of some sort when we agree to come to planet Earth. We're not just plunked down and say, here you are, kiddo, go for it. No, I did rebirthing years ago and talked with the elders before my birth, and they said, Joan, this is going to be too hard for me. And I said, I can do this. Well, I almost died when I was 2 years old. And they said, you know, well, you can come with us, in other words, die, or we'll make it easier for you if you choose to stay. So as you can tell, I'm choosing to stay for a long, long, long time. And it's been a journey. But I know that my job, so to speak, is to spread spiritual truth. And I was so excited when I found out about the metaphysical realm and the spiritual realm, because I had gone to the Congregational Church, the Baptist Church, the Presbyterian Church, the Methodist Church, and somehow none of it rang true to me. I just couldn't imagine everyone not in that church burning in hell. You know?
That's a pretty close friend.
And
if you're not one of our chosen ones.
there's a great movie on Netflix called Come Sunday, and it's about a Baptist, maybe not Baptist, but anyway, very basic religious church guy. And he was sitting watching TV, and they were talking about the children starving in Africa. And of course, they had never been saved by Jesus. And he said, really? All those poor children are going to burn in hell? He said, I simply don't believe it. And of course, he lost his church and had to rebuild. But I was sort of with that guy. I couldn't understand the burning in hell part. And so I was so happy to learn about spiritual truth and metaphysics and having life go on after death, because this is one of our main message, is that life does not end with physical death. You just go to a different classroom, if you will. So so how do we practice that? And how do we put that forward personally? We're spiritual warriors. How do we put this forward? And we each have an opportunity through our friendships and through our conversations to put these ideas forward. And when I first discovered metaphysics and the power of the subconscious mind, which was my introduction into this whole spiritual realm, I was so excited. I told everyone, long and hard. Hey, you know, I was as excited about it as any new Baptist minister.
Yeah, zealot.
Yeah, yeah. And people stood back from me, said, "Well, she's crazy, and she's gonna die and go to hell, obviously." And so
Yep.
so I stepped back from being so vocal about it. But while I was reading novels, I also picked up Dr. Joseph Murphy's book on the power of the subconscious mind. And I remembered reading that and being so excited about it. And the fact that we can create a new life. We can create a good life. We have so much power within us through the appropriate use of this tool of our subconscious mind. How many of you are familiar with Dr. Joseph Murphy?
Yay.
Yeah. And there are other people that have that same message. But in the 70s, that was new information.
Oh, yeah.
It was very new. The Rosicrucian movement, which is a spiritual movement, was they had to take an oath never to reveal any part of their teaching. And I always felt like when I was teaching metaphysics that I had to close the drapes and turn out the lights and make sure nobody was looking, and be very careful about who I was talking to, because in the 70s all of this was very new. It just because of these books that were being put out, it changed everything.
Well, and
It
Jesus
gave so
taught
much
them.
power to individuals to create their own life. But sometimes we forget about those basic teachings. And I was so excited. I had found the secret way before the Secret movie ever came out.
Before that book was written.
So I was excited about it, and I'm still excited about it. And I realized that over the next 12 years, my life doesn't have to be the same as it is now. It can be better. It can be just as more exciting or just as exciting. And so I'm making new commitments about the life that I want to live in this new future, because we do have a new future unfolding in front of us. Now, Corky, do you have the statement that you could read? I'm going to ask Corky to read the statement about CCL and what it's all about, and I got very excited about this because it hits so many important parts of our changes coming up.
Okay, let me change gallery view here. That. Ouch! Let's see, okay, so this is our the CCL mission statement. And we proclaim and affirm the spiritual nature of all faiths, religions, and creeds. Our vision is to co-create spiritual communities of love, trust, integrity, and mutual respect, which embrace our diversity, celebrate the oneness of the human spirit, serve the well-being of the human family, and honor the sanctity of all creation. We accept that God is the Creator is the moving spirit in all and the loving essence of the universe.
So,
That's our mission statement.
so when you become associated with CCL, this is what we stand for, and this is a great signpost for you to go forward, because it talks about kindness, it talks about embracing diversity, it talks about caring for other people, and it talks about all people being human and lovable, therefore lovable. And it talks about who God is. Universal Spirit is God. You know, there's a lot of versions of God. We talk about God as Universal Spirit. And I think that's so important because sometimes we get hung up on the word God. When you've been associated with some of the traditional churches and the power of God, and the whole idea of not meeting expectations and going to hell, then we get hung up on using that word God. So instead of using that word God so much, we use Universal Spirit to guide us in going forward. So in addition to music, I've also found my daily word, which is from Unity Church. It has a daily meditation. And there's also a daily meditation on Apple News. There's all kinds of places that have little meditations. So if you feel like you're having trouble meditating, I have trouble sitting down and being still because one of the things I committed to is being very physically active so that I can maintain my ability to travel. You know, travel is so important to me. And so I have trouble sitting down and being still. If you're like me, look around and find those little meditations that are available to you online. Or download and replay Janet's songs. They're just lovely.
They are.
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to share with you today are three things. One is about the astrology, and they do have the way they have to predict things, and they will be predicting new things in the future, and we'll keep an eye on that. But the second thing is music. Because it's helped me so much, I wanted to share with you that there's lots of sources of music, and I hope that you're participating in some of them somehow, but even by listening. You know, in the Jewish families, on Friday night, they sit down and they have dinner, and they have candles, and they have family, and nothing else. But one of the things I've done is on Friday night is sit down and have some music. It seems to be a good way to end the week. And then the third thing that I want to remind you about today is that we're spiritual warriors, and that you are associated with a group of spiritual warriors, and that we have a statement and a clear pattern about how this works and who we are. Embracing diversity, calling universal God, universal spirit, being loving and kind to people. So at this time, I wanted to kind of end this and then open it up and ask you, what have you felt that we're in chaos? Question one. And number two, have you made some changes going forward? And Ruth has her hand up first.
Yes. So my comment has two parts to it. First part, sometimes the chaos is in my brain. Because like you said, you know, the whole going to hell thing can be really intense, right? So 2 ways that I combated this is I created like on a little card, and it's a quote from Huckleberry Finn, where he says, "All right, then I'll go to hell," because he had written this whole letter feeling all washed and clean from his sins, and he was going to turn in his friend Jim, who was a runaway slave, right? And then he started to think about all the things they had gone through together and their friendship and their bond, and he couldn't go through with it. But he really believed that he would go to hell because that's what you were taught, in the South. You go to hell if you help these slaves, escaped slaves. And so I have that and have it hanging up, right, to remind myself, about other people's concepts of who goes to hell and who goes to heaven can be really, really, really messed up. Of course, they still have intrusive thoughts that are mean and would still come up. And speaking of music, sometimes it takes music to flip it over. And so I made a very tiny, tiny little song to help me with it. And it goes like this. I'm going to hell, and I just don't care. I'm going to hell.
No, I'm
'Cause
not.
there's heaven
She can
and
go all
won't
by
be
herself.
there. I'm
No.
going to hell, and I'm happy, 'cause all is well. And that
Bravo!
changes the whole thing, and then I can go about my day without the mean thoughts in my head.
Before I got into spiritual studies, I was doing Bible study in the Presbyterian church, and we were studying. It said, if you've ever thought about going to bed with another man other than your husband, even if you don't do it, if you've ever thought about it, you're going to hell. Well, boy, I knew I was going to hell at that moment, and this sense of euphoria just came over me, and I was at Lake Mead, and Lake Mead was no longer blue. It was purple and turquoise and silver and lavender. For 3 days, I was in a transformed world. Woohoo! With going to hell. Who else has a comment?
I love C.S. Lewis and his ideas about hell. When I was in college, I read his book called The Great Divorce, and it talks about hell. And every day there's a bus in this book that goes from hell up to heaven. Anybody can go to heaven who wants to. And every day this bus takes a bunch of people up to heaven, and they get to stay if they want to. And the other idea of hell that I really like is from the Far Side, where classical uppity musician is going to hell. The devil's taking him into a room full of people playing banjos, which is, of course, my kind. And so, I think hell might be what you make it.
Yeah.
And maybe heaven is what you make it too.
Right.
So,
That reminds me of, I'll see comments online sometimes, and someone will appreciate what someone said, and they'll say, I really hope that you'll be blessed with a pillow that's always cold at night.
Oh.
Because it's cold, because, having a cool pillow on your head is always very pleasant.
Yes.
And people respond really well to that. They're like, oh, that's the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me.
Well, I want to say how well you did today. Joan, this was a fantastic speech, wonderful talk, was great, and thank you so much for being our speaker today. I think we all needed it.
Yeah, that was great.
Well, thank you, Dottie, and I have a couple of closing words here. From Charlie Brown, rest this afternoon, because we visited the Charlie Brown Museum, and if you have not been, take a day and go up there and go through it. It's just precious.
Santa Rosa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rest this afternoon, live for today, learn from yesterday, look to tomorrow. So that's Charlie Brown wisdom. And then in exploring the American Revolution and the cause of it and how it was happened, why it happened, I ran into Ken Burns, and he has a new movie about the American Revolution coming out in November.
Great, I love this stuff.
But he said, we don't have photos from that time, but the women wrote letters to the men because they were away. And the men would respond to these letters. So they have all these letters that help define the thinking process that went into the establishment of the Constitution. So Ken Burns says he has 3 things to tell his daughters. This won't last, and this today and the chaos of today will morph into the chaos of tomorrow. So this will not last. Get help from others, and don't be afraid to ask for help. My daughter told me how much Dottie helped her in a reading. I didn't even know she had a reading, but she told me that Dottie helped her so much. So if you need help, get help from others, and get help for yourself. So that's Ken Burns' idea. And then the last part is you need patience. Seek community. And that's what we have here. We have community. And we have a clear stated purpose of this community. So seek community. Figure out why you were born. There's lifelong learning. Boy, is that true? Huh, Dottie?
Yes.
We sure know that, don't we? And then my last thing is our nation is in the process of becoming, and it always has been, and it always will be. It's not a finished project. America is a project that's morphing as we go along. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. Remember to take a rest and this afternoon. And I'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Awesome, thank you.
Yay, thank you.
I was wondering if we could have like a little prayer circle for anybody who's dealing with chaos or hardship, and we could just send a prayer for them. I'll admit part of this comes from being a little bit selfish because my mother is in the hospital. She went in for pneumonia, but her blood pressure is still way too low. Like 94 over 57. It's a little too low, so can't walk. And she has an abscess and a blood infection. So she has a lot going on. Yeah. In her abdomen.
Sure, we can send prayers.
And what is her mother's name?
Janet Gay Slothauer Glasgow.
Janet.
You can choose the one we want.
So let us send Janet, let us send Ms. Janet the energy and help that she needs. May we invoke all of her angels and all of her guides and all of the energy that is available to her. Let us call it forth and wrap her around it and bring that energy of love that we have to her and let her be surrounded by that powerful love and healing that flows like a river.
So it is. Thank you. Speedy recovery, or speedy release.
And Annie has her
She sure does. Let's get Annie in there.
Yes.
Hi there. So it takes me a while to think of things sometimes, call it chemo brain, whatever you want to call it. But dealing with chaos is something that, I've had to handle for quite a while now. And every day when I wake up chaotic or I'm feeling like there's nothing that I can do about this world, or, whenever I get into that quote unquote, I'm feeling a little hopeless mode. I believe in Terry Cole Whitaker, who says, fake it until you make it. So what I do is I go through and I read every positive prayer I can find. I look for memes that have beautiful pictures and that have beautiful messages. Thing that lifts my heart when I read it, or I listen to YouTube, or I do different things like that. And that's the way that I keep myself going, because if I don't keep myself going, then where will I be? Right. And I always tap into the love that's here. and send it. And Dottie, I owe you a phone call. But anyway, so one of the other things that I put, by the way, Joan, I wasn't sure if you were aware of this, but a lot of movie theaters have opera night at the movie theaters. And what they do is at the New York Met, they do a live performance, and it's shown actually at the movie theater with English subtitles. So you can understand the story and you know what's going on. And I've seen a few of those. They're really, I never realized the humor in some of these operas and the fun. So yeah. But anyway, so I
Thank
say
you.
fake it till you make it. Give as much love as you can. Open up for as much love as you can find, and allow it to enter you and believe what you're seeing in that energy. Let that energy enter you and let yourself be loved.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you.
Regina.
And Mel.
Okay, I had two things I wanted to share. The first one about the cooling pillow. I own one. I love it. It is amazing. And I encourage anybody who wants to try one to try it. I found mine at Costco and I ended up going back and buying another one just so I had two.
I feel you.
Uh, and through most of this today, my video has been frozen. And
No.
I've been playing with it, trying to figure out what did I do to make it freeze? What can I do to make it stop freezing? And at one point I turned on the audio, and when I'm sorry, your name isn't right at the top of my list or my head. When she was singing the song about hell, I
Okay.
did not mean for my voice to come through and do it. I forgot that I had unmuted that.
That was you, huh?
It was me. It was me. I confess. It was all me. I just so believe in the power of words. And hearing that in my head, I had to counteract it because that's not the message that I wanted to have in my head at that moment.
Well, the idea of the song was for people who say you're going to hell because you don't believe a specific thing, or because you are LGBTQIA plus, because you're doing whatever it is, right? That's not, properly Christian or whatever it is. My way of counteracting that was to say, like, yeah, I'm going to go to hell, but it's because I don't want to go to the kind of heaven that you're preaching who don't care about other people and their well-being. So
Exactly.
to turn it on its head and to say, like, it doesn't matter because what you're saying is hell is actually a good thing because I give a damn about people who are oppressed and who, need help. Like I even grew up where I was taught that if I found out anybody was an illegal alien, that I needed to turn them in. And so it was a turning point for me even to when someone did reveal that they were with fake papers, I couldn't do it. I was like, nope. I thought all about it. And so I had like my Huckleberry Finn moment, like, nope, I can't do what, I've been taught to do. And that was supposedly an ungodly thing to do and all that stuff. So that's what it was. It was like an irony type thing, not just,
Not literal.
right, exactly.
You may have that thought and that belief, and I can see where you might want to change what they're saying so that you don't walk into it. But at the same time, the person who's saying that you are going to hell, you could just look at them quite easily and say, I'm sorry, that's where you are, and walk away from it, as
Right.
opposed to
So,
engaging with it.
right. So
But
if it's,
anyway, I just wanted to share that it
yeah.
was me who spoke up, so we don't need to continue on with this. I just fully believe in the power of the words spoken.
Right.
Thank
So if the song doesn't work for you, it doesn't help you turn any negative thoughts around in your head and or accidentally perpetuates it, then it's just not meant for you, and that's okay too. I just wanted to share what worked for me, and if it
And
works
it's
for
so-
you, that's lovely, and if it doesn't, that's okay.
And it's so cute, Ruth. I just love it.
I thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Regina.
It works for
Appreciate it.
Joan, so that's nice.
So,
Mel?
Mel's gonna
Mel.
come next.
No, that's.
Mel. Mr. Mel. We're
Oh,
far-
give me a second to, I hope this is the right time for this. If or we're just sharing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to share that Patty Ray is she has it's a skin cancer, a rare skin cancer that's kind of aggressive. Um, and she is starting, I believe it's chemo. I believe it's this week that
Okay.
she's starting chemotherapy, and she's nervous about it. She's of course scared, and she hasn't been really happy where she's living, even though it's a good place. It's not home. She's in assisted living. I'd like to ask for some prayers for her for comfort and a sense of happiness and well-being, and for a positive outcome for her treatment.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank-
Absolutely. Thank you so much. How's Sean's mom?
She's doing better. They're working on finding ways to uh, counteract what's going on with her. But she's doing well. She's home. I believe she's exercising again. We're trying to work on getting her weight back up and trying to figure out how to keep the blood clots from going to the places they're not supposed to be going to. Um,
Thank you. And
Okay, thank you so much.
could,
Thank you, Mel.
Janet, could you have a song for,
For healing?
For healing.
Yeah, a lot of us seem to need it.
Yeah.
Healing, healing, flows like a river today. Join with me. Healing, 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 flows like a river today. Every person we hold in our heart will give this healing ray. Healing, 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 flows like a river today. Healing, 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 flows like a river today. Healing, 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 flows like a river today. Flows like a river today. Flows like a river today.
Thank you. And do we have anybody?
Yeah, I'd like to read what everybody has said here.
And we also have our basket.
Come on, you go, where's that? Down. Okay, so, I said good morning to everyone and welcome. And then, Maria Milan said good beautiful Sunday morning. And then Annie said good morning everyone, sending hugs and love. Stephen said thank you, Jan. We forgot how blessed our bodies are. Stephen also said opera is country western songs in different shape. That's a thought. And then Annie said about the movie, what she had actually talked about, the theater and the opera thing. And Arlene says, love to all this Sunday morning up the Russian River. And Sky says, good morning, everyone. I enjoy what Betty White had to say. The older you get, the better you get unless you are a banana.
That's a fact.
All right, okay.
The gospel truth right
And,
here.
oh yeah, I love you, Mama Boo. And Chris says, agree with Regina, and Donna Fisher says, I love Regina. Okay, so that's it for right now. Thank you, everyone, for participating.
Can I say something?
Of course.
On Tuesday, Janet and I are doing the sacred space.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about transitions in life and mostly
great.
focusing on end of life. So I hope people will join us.
Okay,
All
that's
right.
at
Please
6 o'clock.
join us.
Thank
6
you.
o'clock?
6 to 8
6 to 8.
p.m. Just go to the UCM website and sign up. It should be right on the front page. We would love to have it. And it's going to be wisdom sharing on both of our parts. And then what we're also going to do is have an open discussion. So I believe it's going to be very rich. We have some questions we're going to bring to you and some information and some spiritual sharing on this most important, how we can be there for each other in life passages. So please, please, please join us. Join us,
Okay.
join us, join us. 6 to 8
All right.
on Tuesday.
Thank you so much.
And it came up so quickly, and I apologize.
I know, I didn't
We've
put
had
the CCL
technical-
insights. Oops.
Well, it's not your fault, Corky, because we just got it together technologically to get it on the website. So I apologize for that.
Well, we've already passed the basket. Woo-hoo!
So, I'm gonna pass the basket, and as you know,
I'm giving 3 Sal. I guess you're right, it's an option.
bless the basket as it comes around. Yeah,
Bless the basket, the basket.
the basket. Bless
Regular
the
basket.
giving creates regular receiving, as I quote the Joan.
That's right. And we give thanks for these offerings and the ones that will come forward through PayPal and Zelle and the mail and all the rest, because the way that this community stays afloat and active is through these offerings. So we give thanks for the community, we give thanks for the offerings, we bless all of the people who give, and give thanks for them being a part of our community. And so it is.
So it is.
Including those who can only give energy.
And
That's
thank
right.
you so very much. It's time to say goodbye.